Hi, everyone. My name is Andrea Nicole Moje, and I just wanted to welcome you to Living Color Artist. It's been a while, right? It's been since Christmas. So now this is our summer unicorn, all things unicorn edition. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Living Color Artist community. We are a community that cultivates unity, diversity, and inclusivity. Sorry, that's a tongue twister. This is a 4-day challenge where you're going to have multiple artists painting each day, and you get to paint along with us. This is a sponsored challenge, so you will win a prize. And it is sponsored by Creative Faces Glitter Sticks. I made a unicorn collection, so you will receive 3 of these unicorn glitter sticks, some bling, a Halloween themed mirror made to order, a Prima Barton 3/4 inch brush, and one of my wash it off soaps so that you can keep your brushes nice and clean. I just added this because today I am going to be painting a horn. So I'm going to include a few little horns into your prize pack today. Those horns are made by Manuela Casson, and the adhesives that I use to apply them are from Summer. So that is the medical tape. So that will be your prize. Now, the things that you need to know is that we will be broadcasting on Facebook and on Instagram. So you need to make sure that you are following us on both. When you post, your post needs to be done by midnight tonight for my challenge. Okay, so you have your hashtags there. This is just so that you will be entered into our prize. You'll be eligible to win the prizes. Now, keep your eyes peeled at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, because then we will announce who is going to be painting for the next day and what that challenge is going to be. Okay, so again, make sure that you post your designs with the hashtags. Make sure that you are following us on social media, and each day will be a surprise on who it's going to be. And then we have a special guest on Thursday. So you don't know who it's going to be. I'm super excited. So you're going to have to stay tuned and paint along with us. I think we should get started. Yay! So welcome back to Living Color Artist, all about the unicorn free challenge. Ta-da! All right, that part is done. Now the fun part begins. So today I am going to be talking about a cute on-the-job unicorn design. But if you noticed in my flyer, I was a zombiecorn. And the reason I kind of picked that is because, do you ever get a little kid who sits in your chair and they say, I want to be a dead zombie unicorn? And it's not Halloween. We're in the middle of summer. Do you say no to that child, or do you just make it happen, right? So this could be unisex. This could be for boy, girl, teenager, mom, whoever still loves kind of spooky, sinister. They don't want all of the floral stuff. Now, you guys know me. I am a floral painter. Everything I do usually has flowers associated with it, right? So today is a fun challenge for me because I'm going to do something without flowers. Ha ha! All right, so bear with me here. The paint that I am going to be using is Pro Air makeup. And because it's summertime, this makeup is fantastic because it is water resistant, meaning you can do this at a pool party and the kids can go swimming. And as long as they're not wiping it off and as long as they're dabbing to dry, it should stay on for them. Okay, so for most of my base work today, I'm going to be using an airbrush. Now, if you do not have an airbrush and you just use water-based makeup, totally fine. You can use sponges. And even if you are using Pro Air, you can also use sponges if you don't airbrush. But sponges work just fine. But for my design, it will be airbrush, just to clarify that. Let's move these sponges out of the way. These designs are supposed to be on the job and pretty streamlined, right? So we want to make sure that we're not taking too long in a design, but we also want to make sure that we are offering a service where they're going to be calling us back because our work is that good, right? All right, so I'm going to show you a unicorn that I do on the job. I'm using a Laocelli butterfly stencil. Now, if you notice, this butterfly stencil has the most perfect shape for an ear. So because my unicorn is going to be a bit sinister, and before I even start, I'll just tell you 2 seconds. Before I plan out his design, I kind of do some research first, right? And I painted yesterday and I did an adult zombie for like a zombie crawl, kind of getting ready for that season. But what I did is I just kind of picked some ideas that appealed to me, and I came up with a design that I liked personally that I could offer on the job to my clients. So in case you were wondering what I use and how I get to my ideas, that's how I do it. I just do a little bit of research and I figure it out. The makeup that I use, the Pro Air makeup, they do have zombie color palettes and they have zombie colors. So if you're thinking ahead about Halloween, not just the child on the job that wants something sinister, but if you are somebody who plans and would like to get a few of those gigs where you can service somebody who calls you up and says, hey, can you come to our high school? We're having a zombie crawl or something like that. These paints would be perfect for that because they are smudge proof. So what I did is I picked my colors ahead of time to see what was going to be the most friendly, not too scary. So while I'm on the job, I'm going to ask the parent, if the parent is around, I'm going to say, hey, you know what? Sally wants to be a scary zombie unicorn. Is that okay with you? Because some people's religion or some parents may not like it to be a little bit spooky, but other parents are just like, oh, they can have whatever they want. If that's the case, then yes, do it. If they say no, but you don't want to disappoint the little one, you can still make it maybe just not super girly and glammy. You can make it a little more kind of sinister. So I'm just checking out all of my colors really fast to make sure everything's good to go and picking out those kind of muted out, kind of creepy colors a little bit, like pop art zombie kind of colors, or even almost kind of like a pale dead kind of a color, right? So ahead of time, I'm going to have that worked out. I'm also going to be doing some one stroke. So I'm going to take my stencil that is perfectly shaped for an ear, and I'm going to airbrush like that. And I'm going to make a unicorn ear. I'm going to flip it over. The one nice thing with airbrushing is that our stencils dry pretty fast because it's alcohol based. So I'm going to move it over and I'm going to kind of match it to see if that's about where I want it. Make sure that that angle is just about right. And again, this is a butterfly stencil that I have just repurpose to use for a zombie. Well, actually, I use this for a lot of my unicorn designs, just because of, if you have a pre-made unicorn stencil, sometimes they're too big for the child's face. What I like with this is I have a little bit of control, so I'm able to place it where I want. Okay. I'm also going to be using bling today. I did mention that a few minutes ago. And the one nice thing about the bling that I'm going to be using is when I buy these horns from Manuela, and then I buy the medical tape from Summer, these horns come natural. And because I'm airbrushing, I like that because then I can airbrush them on the job as I'm working with the individual child. Now, if I'm going to be putting on the medical tape, here is a tip and trick of the day. I'm going to wet a makeup wipe, and the makeup wipe should say will remove waterproof mascara. And usually not a baby wipe, a makeup wipe will help to remove the oils on your skin. Say you're doing this design on a sweaty little like 12-year-old or something, right? They have oils and the bling may not stay. If you notice that there's no way that that kid is going to be able to rock that bling, then feel free to airbrush or paint a horn on. So I have that horn. I've got this one. So you know what I mean? You can go really big. But because I like bling so much, I am going to use this bling. I cleaned the area. I put on medical tape, so it's going to stick. So as I'm working, I can start to paint the horn any color that I want. Okay. So I've got my ears in place. I've got my horn in place. I've got some cute little ears too. So what I'm noticing though is now I have that green on the outside. I'm going to make an inside part of my ear. And with this one, I'm going to kind of do, I think this one is called Gravestone, I believe. I don't know. I'll have to look at the colors after. But it's going to be kind of a brown. Okay. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to match this guy kind of right in the middle here. And let's make sure it matches. We don't want to look funky here. When I did my makeup today, I purposely didn't put any eyebrows on because I knew I was going to be painting my face. Now, let's talk about children and airbrushing around the eye area. If you notice that you are airbrushing a little person and they are very uncomfortable with airbrushing the eyes, my suggestion to you would be to always have some powders on hand. There are some amazing powders. This one is the Elisa Griffith palette. What I can do is ask the child to close their eyes, and if it's going to be a party where they're going to be swimming, then I would put the primer on and then I would apply this over the eye. If they're not going to be swimming, it's just a hot day, and no need for the primer then, because it doesn't need to be really water resistant, right? So I want to make sure my horn is on. Since I'm not a little person and I'm okay with there being airbrush on my eyes, I'm going to go ahead and just airbrush my eyes. Now, again, I've asked Mom, is it okay if I make this sinister? Mom says, oh my gosh, go for it. How cool is that? She always likes to pick gory things, then go for it. Okay. If she says no, then make it a little more happy, still mute it out. But this mom happens to be super cool and said I can do whatever I want. Okay. And the child is able to sit still for airbrush. So those are my factors. I'm going to be using, you guys care about what colors I'm using? This is my zombie red. Again, working with colors that are complementary. So I'm doing green, and I am now going to be airbrushing red. Okay. You just tell the little one, keep your eyes closed, honey. Keep your eyes closed, honey. Keep your eyes closed. Okay. So I just get that in the concentration that I want it to be in. Again, child doesn't like it. You did one eye. Guess what? There's red in here. Just grab a fluffy brush. All you got to do, let's see. Grab a fluffy brush. Pick up some red. They said, I don't like that. Doesn't feel good on my eye. So boom, grab your fluffy brush and be like, it's all right. I got you. And add some red with powder. Okay. Again, if you want to use a sponge it on. This is all on the job and making that child happy, making you happy and not stressed out. Okay, so already I'm looking a little more kind of dead. So that is airbrushed. Ooh, I'm dropping everything over here. All right, so then the next thing I would do is figure out, how do I want to go about doing my horn? And since I want it to be a bit sinister, I'm going to add a little bit of brown to it here. I'm just going to airbrush. And again, this works really well if you have an airbrush. If you don't have an airbrush, I'm assuming you can probably sponge this on as well. I'm going to add a little green on there. Okay, so it's looking a little kind of grimy. And then I'm going to add some red underneath it. It's already looking spooky. Yeah. All right, looking creepy so far. Yay! That's the whole point, right? Okay, so darken that up a little bit right here. Ooh, now even around my mouth. Again, these are supposed to be on the job, right? Now, if the parent is really totally cool with it and you can kind of get away with doing whatever you want, I'm going to add some boo-boos. Okay, so I have some boo-boos. And see how fast that is with the airbrush? Like super fast. Just add a little black. Okay. Then I can take my black here. Kind of like hollow out my eyes just a little bit. And I'm going to use this kind of a brown. Kind of sink out my nose. Right in there, kind of contouring. When airbrushing by the nose, blow out quickly as you airbrush. 1, 2, 3, blow. Then it's super fast and the kids are just like, oh, okay, it's already done. Okay, so another tip and trick. All right, so we've got this part so far. Now I got to think of what color mane do I want for my creepy zombie corn. And I'm thinking maybe kind of I couldn't decide. I made some one strokes and I kind of made these guys. I made this green one so it could kind of match, or I made this black one so with red, so that what happens is I can use the black as I'm lining it, and that would make things faster for me on the job because you use the black as your shadow, right? So I'm going to use a small brush. Since my makeup is alcohol based, I wake my makeup on. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Green mane or black and red mane? Anybody have any opinion about it, or just go? I don't know. I think I'm leaning a little more towards the green now, just so I think maybe the blood part might show up a little bit better. My creepy blood part, right? So with this, I'm just squeezing a little bit of dips black and dips green together. Green. All right, Barbara answered. She said green. I'm going to go with green. I was thinking green too, Barb. So what I'm going to do is I'm using this Art Factory 5/8 inch brush, and I'm going to still use the black on my edge and the green. So that black is going to work really nicely for me because it's going to make it so like I'm drawing with it. So I'm going to draw my unicorn mane. I can come around the back here like that. And if it doesn't touch that way, just kind of pull it and then make another swoop and come down like that. And another swoop and can kind of cross over like that. Dipping in alcohol to reactivate as I'm painting, and then I can just use the tip here, oops, like that. I might need to fix that just a tad, but I'm just drawing with the tip of my angled brush and pulling another one here so it actually looks like a mane, and having it come down, and it's going to come to one side like that. Okay, and then I'm going to come right in here and just swoop it like this. So I can kind of still see some of that red, and I got a little more of the green filled in there like so. So that's going to be that part of my mane. Then I'm going to do the same thing for the sides of my ear. I'm going to pull, push, twist, and curl. Do it on this side, flat next to the ear, pull, push, twist, and curl like that. So I'm one stroke in it. I think a little smidge of purple in there may actually be kind of cool. So I'm gonna open up my purple. I'm just gonna add a tiny bit to the end of the green. I'm gonna come back around in here, pull and turn, add a little bit. So I'm loading my black and green and then just back loading with some purple, just because. All right, so pull in, twist, come around, zoop. Okay, so I have just a little tiny bit of purple in there. I'm loving it. I could actually do some line work. Oh, Irene just got me these new brushes. I've never used this one yet. It's a black brush from, ooh, I already got paint on it, guys. It's a Bolt brush. It's their new Raven collection. Okay, so I'm going to use that purple just to add a little bit more color in there for my unicorn mane. So it's got purple and green coming around here. I can even add a little bit there. So it's not too black. Again, less talking, more working. I'd probably get this done a little faster. Okay, little swirlies with the purple there. Now, close that guy up. So I've got a little bit of sores. I've got my ears. Actually, I probably would like to outline. That may be a good idea for me to outline the ear so it will stand out more, considering I have an outline for my my mane. So for this ear, I'm going to go out and then kind of pinch it up a little bit and come back and go around like that. So it's more pony-like, around, pinch it up a little bit and come around like that. And then on the inside, I do kind of almost the same thing where I added that brownish color and around like that. Okay, so I have the correct shape of my unicorn, my spooky corn. I actually want to come down here with this and kind of swirl it out a little bit like that. And I'm going to put some black freckles just because I'm extra. And I'm still keeping this friendly, but kind of spooky, right? So anything that you need to clean up or touch up with your liner brush, you can always go back in there and do that after. So now to let those guys rest, I'm looking at this really cool pony design, and it's kind of got some little patches and stuff on it. Now, if you're on the job and you got to hurry up, right, this could be a good stopping point. But say the party is slow, there's not a lot of people, and you got a little bit more time. I'm going to just make sure my brush, my airbrush, really covers that horn. So this is more of a little green. I want it green on the tip there. Brightening up just a little bit and giving some dimension. So I can always go back in and pop out a little bit of that color. Then in the corner of my eyes, I'm gonna add a little green just for fun. Okay, I have some stencils over here. I thought this stencil was really cute because it kind of has these X's on it. I'm trying to hurry up. I'm at 20 something minutes, so I better hurry up. I want to keep you guys here all day. So this stencil has these little X's on it, like that. Some little X's on it, like that. So it gives it, I don't know, there's kind of a stitches kind of a vibe, right? And with using that same black liner brush, I'm going to take some of that red that I showed you from before. And that red is actually, again, this is mom saying it's totally okay. Do whatever you want, right? That red here can be concentrated a little more to kind of look like blood. A little more there. So it looks like a boo-boo. Okay, just depending how sinister are you allowed to go. Okay, it's not super, super creepy, but it's creepy enough to where it does look sinister. And I think the little kid would be super happy that they don't look like butterflies and flowers like the other ones. All right. Then I always ask the kids, like, I'm just going to give this, I'm going to give this a gender. I'm going to say, this is a little girl. She wanted the spooky one. I'm going to say, do you want me to put lipstick on? If she says yes, in my kit, I always have lip applicators, and I use a smudge proof lipstick from Pharmacy. And I never double dip. I always give them a clean application, and these last in the pool. They don't come back to me and say, can you put more lipstick on me? This one is red, because you know those little girls love lipstick. Okay, now if you got like a little goth girl and she's like, I want black lipstick, I got it. So I would just use a little bit of that and kind of come in. I don't want to give her total black lips, but I also want to make her happy. So kind of line around the red like that, because I'm in the business of making kids go, oh my God, that's so cool. And I want them to be super stoked and happy. This is the same one. So it can go a little bit darker. So just depending on your audience, right, of what those kids will allow you to do. If you like putting eyelashes on your unicorn, I would just pull up with my liner brush like that and add some lashes up. You could even do the down lashes like that. But I don't know. What do you guys think? I think that that's a good on-the-job spooky zombie corn that you could get away with without you know, it being too scary. I'm going to add a couple more freckles up over here. And then you can always ask them, you know, honey, do you want it to sparkle? I picked out these glitters that you can squeeze on, that if you had extra time and you wanted to, you know, add a little bit of glitter, you could always do that, right? And that always adds a little extra. Again, this is if you have time. If you don't have time and it's a line, then don't do this part of it, because I do have to sit and let this dry for a minute. But especially if this is the birthday child and they're like, no, I want it, then do it. Because when this dries and then you get that like green sparkly shine, oh my gosh, it's so pretty when it catches the light. These are the liquid bling. They're my total favorite. So I picked out black and green, but I think green is fine. I also have a glitter stick here that just has red, nothing else, just red. So I could add red to my freckles. I can add red to my blood. I can add red anywhere, but it still makes it more sparkly and fun. It's just plain red by itself. And that's it. Then you show them the mirror and then they say, oh, and they're so happy, right? Then you can take your mirror moment picture. But this was my zombie on the job unicorn. I hope you like it. All right, so please, if you're going to paint along with us and you would like to be entered into our contest, then you must post by this evening with those hashtags, 11:59 p.m. Central Time, 12 o'clock pretty much. And as long as it's posted, then you are on your way to being done with the 4 paintings, and you're entered. Yep. From the 25th to the 28th. And then you're entered into winning our prize that I showed you guys earlier. All right. I hope that this is helpful. I hope that somebody asks for this on the job and you were able to say, hey, I know how to do something like that. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, you guys. And I look forward to painting with you tomorrow. All right. Bye.